Three particular aspects are utilized to present what ails Cloud visually. The fusion sword represents his relationships, geostigma, regret, and the lingering shadow of Sephiroth, grief. For him to be healed, all three need to be resolved. Cloud stands alone with his bike and experiences a lesser seizure due to geostigma, a sickness running rampant in the city as a result of Sephiroth infecting the lifestream. A prologue of what is to come. When he is attacked by Loz and Yazoo moments later, two things are set up. The first is that the fusion sword is fully disassembled. From what has been shown, Cloud is listening to voicemail from Tifa as opposed to talking to her directly, showing a distance has grown between him and his friends. As such, the sword is a visual representation of what his relationships are like. Disconnected. Second is his first geostigma seizure, displaying how debilitating a disease it is, leaving him vulnerable as a result. 4 more are to follow, each spaced accordingly and denoting a point of transition from one stage of grief to the next, the physical manifestation of which is linked to his regret and by proxy the grief within, in his isolation, creating a vicious cycle that further deteriorates him. This is compounded by the fact he refuses to help Rufus in trying to restore the world to the best of their ability, though for good reason. Denial. Finding the Buster Sword uprooted, desecrating Zack's grave as a result, leads us to the second geostigma attack. Combine this with him now wearing a sword at all times, denotes another transitional point. Logistically a necessity as he has been attacked, though it also develops the visual metaphor within the film. Anger. Following Tifa's fight with Loz, she is found unconscious by Cloud, and this leads him to experience his third seizure, one of such severity that he is knocked out. By this point he is dejected in his ability to protect not only himself, but those he cares about, requesting others to fight in his stead for fear of his own failure, only to be rejected. Simultaneously, as not only Tifa, but Rude and Reno insert themselves into his life, the more blades he uses and combines when in battle, as is the case when he is fighting the three brothers in the Forest of the Ancients. Bargaining. In his attempt to rescue the children that were taken from the city, he experiences his fourth seizure when directly facing Kadaj, weakening Cloud significantly in the process, rendering him unable to save the children and needing rescue from Vincent. This thrusts him further down in his self-loathing and wonders if he even has the right to fight anymore, due to his failure, and having in the process of the prior encounter lost the remainder of his swords temporarily due to the crash. With both Vincent and Marlene present, he questions if he even deserves to be forgiven for not being able to save Aerith, even if no one blames him. Depression. Having made the conscious choice to try and forgive himself, the remaining hour is spent completing the arcs necessary for Cloud to be healed, physically and internally. His friends return, not only to fight, but also to provide support for Cloud to stand and rise from the depths of his grief, reminding him he is not alone. This aspect of the arc is completed with Tifa and Aerith lifting him higher to defeat Bahamut Sin, with the fusion sword made whole for the first time, proving he can try to forgive himself. This leads to a chase where Cloud follows Kadaj into the church where he met Aerith for the first time, a place she spent much time in prayer. Tanking one of Kadaj's hits, he experiences the final geostigma seizure, and from the crater left behind, pure lifestream bleeds out and rains, healing Cloud of his sickness and frees him from his regret. While unsuccessful in preventing Sephiroth's return, this is exactly what he needed in order to heal completely, to defeat the source of his pain and grief once and for all, allowing him to move on, and following a hard-fought battle where he is left broken and bleeding, Cloud was able to overcome his grief and let go, remembering the memories of those who have passed while living for those with him now. Acceptance. That said, this is not a very well written film, with inconsistencies, contrivances, and things that outright make no sense present throughout. Typical of a Tetsuya Nomura project. However, intentionally or by accident, Cloud's arc is wonderfully put together.
This is the end. I love you.